Welcome to the live stream, everybody. If I could just get a quick audio visual check. This is going to be a short stream. I just wanted to go over a couple of things. Why I actually took along. I know a lot of you guys think that I'm a perma bear, which is totally fair because I have been for quite some time. But, things may change with that election tonight. So let's hop into it. But yeah, quick audio visual check. And also, guys, if you do appreciate these live streams, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. I know I haven't been as active recently. Sorry, I had a nasty sinus infection for 2 full weeks there. So finally on the mend now. But yeah, this is looking absolutely beautifully. When I make sure that everybody can hear me clearly and make sure there is a couple people here, I'll kind of get into why I ended up taking this long position, as well as a couple of things that I'm still a little bit concerned about with Bitcoin on the longer time frames. It's not so much that I'm bearish. There's just a couple things that are a little concerning right now. Oh yeah, still pumping. I'm actually going to, I'm not in this position anymore. That was an old one. I am going to bump up my stop losses right now, actually. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Full send ahead. Yeah, is anybody here with me? Can you all hear me? You can see my charts and everything. This thing is moving fast. Basically, as soon as I entered this position, I decided I gotta hop on stream here just in case, because there's a couple of different reasons why I think this position could still run for a while. You guys know I am more of a scalper myself. So I don't expect to be in this position for days or anything like that. But you know what? If it happens, it happens. My stop loss is in a very small profit at this point on this red trend line down here. Entry is the blue trend line. But I'm also going to close half my position if we hit this yellow trend line here, just because we'd be losing some structure on the 1 minute here. And things could be extremely volatile tonight with the election and whatnot. So I just want to protect myself more than anything. Yeah, hopefully you're all having a fantastic evening so far, fantastic day, fantastic morning, depending where you are in the world. But yeah, this is looking good. So I just want to check. I'm kind of following. I'm kind of following along, seeing what's going on with the election. But realistically, there's probably going to be recounts. There's going to be a bunch of stuff. I don't expect it to even be finalized tonight, but we'll have to see, right? So I expect a lot of volatility, and yeah, so far this long is playing out absolutely beautifully here. This is probably shocking for a lot of you guys to see me on the more bullish side of things right now. I was in a short this morning, but that structure's actually changed. It's broken. I did end up closing most of that short in a juicy profit, just because there was some reasons down here why I thought it was possible that we had bottomed. Unfortunately, I missed an absolutely perfect entry here. Those of you from the MDX ALGO community will know that basically I was looking at this as a potential Stuber fib setup with the pullback down to that 786 and absolutely perfectly. So that's why I love looking at those fibs, you guys. But yeah, I never did enter there. What I did end up doing, though, I did take a very short-term short here. I was just scalping a little bit on the 1 minute here, being that we lost this immediate higher low on this trend, because, as we went to the upside, notice we had higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And we finally lost that trajectory to the upside. So I ended up taking a little bit of a short, but I was very quickly updating my stop losses, just like I am on this position. Basically, as we were setting these very, very minimal lower highs, right? Lower lows and lower highs. So after we lost that higher low structure, lower low, That's our new high that has to break that structure. But then we end up getting lower low, lower high. This is very micro analyzing, I understand, but that's what I do as a scalper on the 1 minute. Lower low, lower low, that's my lower high. And then actually another one, lower low, lower high, and slightly lower low again, lower high. So when I got the break of this green trend line, that's basically just looking at a potential break of the immediate structure. And that's where I love to pull those Fibonacci's, right? That's where I love pulling and looking for those Stuber fibs. I ended up front running this just because I didn't want to miss out. I had some laddered entries in down further. And, you know, it's unfortunate I never filled the rest of my orders, but whatever, I got my first one and just taking off from there and chasing the structure with my stop loss, right? Stop loss as soon as we ended up basically, you know, from down here, we end up setting this higher high that confirms this as our low of the range. Then we end up getting a higher high. That's a higher low. So I was just kind of chasing the structure with my stop loss. Higher high, higher low. At that point, my stop loss below this higher low. At that point, my stop loss is in a little bit of a profit to cover my fees, basically. But since we just continue rip into the upside here, I actually have to bump up my half stop loss again. I'm going to bump it up to about here because, again, we just have a higher high, higher low confirmed. So I don't want to lose this structure from a bullish perspective, right? So if we do, I'm going to close half of this position. Let me actually just set a trigger order right now. I just got to change my level here. Beautiful position. Yeah, let me just update my order here. That will be, I'll go 357. I don't like using even numbers. That gives just a little bit of wiggle room there. Still might get wicked out, but honestly, if we lose that structure at all, I'm willing to lock in some profits anyways. So 7357. And then I'm going to bump up the rest of my stop loss to just below this old 786, 886 here that I had. Just below 70K. I'm going to go on the rest of my stop loss. So at this point, I have nothing to worry about, right? I'm just chasing the structure. Yes, it's just 1 minute structure. Take it for what it is, but I am not comfortable sitting in a long-term trade during the election. I want any form of weakness in my position at all. I want out. That's basically what I'm living by tonight right now. Is anyone else in any interesting trades? How is everyone feeling about this? I know most people have been bullish for quite some time. Okay, Hellas, welcome, bro. Yeah, I'll check out ETH. 1 second here. ETH, USD. Let's go to Bitstamp just because we got the most history. That is, yeah, what do we got going on here? Nice that we got this little liquidity grab down here and then to the upside. Just give me 1 sec here. I really want to just start with a clean, naked chart here. One thing that I do love about this that I can just tell from a quick eyeball here, as far as a Stuber fib setup goes, you know, we had this low, lower low. That's my lower high there. So at that point is where I would be looking for pulling a Fibonacci for a Stuber fib setup, right? And yes, we got a little bit lower, but was it ever invalidated? No, we actually have some wiggle room to the downside there. So had a person been, you know, laddering in the 786, 886 and the 1 like I typically do on a Stuber setup, you'd be in a beautiful entry right now just below the 886. Honestly, even right now at the 786, as far as this is a 4-hour chart. So yeah, it looks great to me. I love that that happened, got that little liquidity grab. Really, even we could look at this. Let's look at a much bigger one that you guys can probably see at this point. But you know, this is our highest point. Where was our highest point before that? That was right here. So let's just say there we have our high, higher high. Here's my confirmed higher low at that point. Let's pull a fib from there. Look at that range. Look at that. Look how absolutely perfectly that filled the 786,886 fib there. So does it have to hold? Absolutely not. But does it look good? Yeah, in my opinion, that looks like a beautiful level to find some support. I love how perfectly it filled that box there. That's beautiful. And yeah, that's the 4-hour. So depending on what kind of a time frame you're looking at, but I would say that looks very good. Oh, is Tone also trying to be live? I know he was live earlier. I didn't see anybody live when I started. If that's the case, I will probably have to cut this short here. Give me 1 second. He's not also live, is he? Well, hopefully not, because I really wanted to keep an eye on this Bitcoin position. And since we have a nice long on the run here, I would really like to stay with you guys for at least a little bit here. Just in case he is trying to go live on here, I am going to wrap up relatively soon. But yeah, I just really wanted to show you guys, since I haven't been on a stream for a while, and since this is perfect volatility as far as live trading goes, just kind of showing you how I'm looking at the structure as we go here, how I protect myself. So yeah, structure hasn't changed here. I'm not considering this a higher low at this point because we never did set another higher high, right? These are our last two higher high. I'm still holding that as my higher low, my confirmed higher low. But yeah, this thing is running. Beautiful to see, even as far as this potential bearish channel that I was watching earlier. That's already invalidated. Things are looking quite nice for the upside right now. Beautiful entry. So yeah, going back, I mean, the reason I took that, like I said, just a classic Stuber. I just started laddering in a little bit early. I always front run my fibs a little bit. But then on top of that, one of the reasons why I was confident in this position and why I let it run is because when I bring up the MDX ALGO master indicator, is this is one of my favorite bits of confluence that I love with this indicator. Is I love when we end up printing a higher sell signal followed by a higher buy signal. Quite often that is just a beautiful warning sign that the actual trend is shifting a little bit, right? Just like up here, we set lower buy signal, then lower sell signal, and we dumped to the downside. Kind of the exact opposite here, right? And just pushing us to the upside. So that's one reason. Also, all this buy volume that came in on the Keltner bands here, so much buy volume coming in with that buy trend there. So absolutely beautiful. Starting to see a little bit of sell pressure now. So either way, I'm glad that I've updated my stop loss. At this point, this is now my new confirmed higher low. I'm just going to leave my stop loss because it's so close. And also with this buy trend here, I just want to give it a little bit of wiggle room. But yeah, this is looking good. Something else I wanted to mention, guys, on the daily chart. So this is just as far as the immediate, looking at structure the exact same as I just was on the 1 minute. Looking at this on the daily chart, just this immediate trend that we have here. I love that we have this high here, higher high here. And that's why I have this green support box here, right? Because that's just my confirmed higher low. So that's why I'm watching this level, and the fact that we ended up closing a nice big green candle there. Yeah, you know what? At some point we could end up losing this. If we do, I think we're going quite a bit lower than 60K, quite honestly. But I mean, at this point, that support of this immediate little trend here on the 1 day chart, that's still holding as support. I love that structure is holding there. One concern that I do have, this is my biggest concern with Bitcoin right now, and honestly, it could be invalidated any hour at this point, is this double top that we have. Perfect double top with a big bearish divergence from overextended conditions down to my 70 level. That's kind of the same pattern that I showed on the weekly chart when I got bearish June 13th, I think it was, when we were at 69K, and we ended up going all the way down towards 49K. It was a very big signal, and that was one of the things keeping me quite bearish at the time. And now to see it on the daily like this, that does have me concerned a little bit. The one thing about that is someone in the group had mentioned earlier tonight that after these election results are in, I'm not so sure divergences are going to matter at that point. And, if we end up smashing through this double top all-time high, even with this bearish divergence, and just invalidating that, especially if the RSI could get into overbought conditions again. I know a lot of people think that that means it's overbought. That could actually just mean that there's a shit ton of buying pressure because it's in an uptrend. So I would love to see the RSI actually break out of this little downtrend here and go into this level. If we get that with a breakout of this resistance, then I think at that point, my last concerns about the health of Bitcoin are basically gone. At that point, I am going to be looking at, aggressively longing every dip I can, basically, anywhere it makes sense, obviously. But yeah, that's a little bit of a concern to me, but honestly, I'm not bearish at this point. It's just something to be a little bit cautious of. And, like I said, with the volatility that's going to be happening with the election tonight, I just really want to protect myself. I'm updating my stop loss based on 1 minute structure here, because you never know what kind of crazy wicks we're going to get, what's going to unfold tonight. So anyways, guys, I think that is about all I wanted to go over tonight. I know it's a very quick stream, but especially if somebody else is possibly trying to go live on this channel right now. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I had to cut it short tonight anyways. I just really wanted to get a quick one in here and kind of explain my thoughts, the trade setup that I took, how I'm protecting myself along the way, making sure I'm going to pay myself, even if I'm wrong on this and we end up crashing to the downside, then at least I make money no matter what at this point, right? So that's the name of the game, just protecting ourselves against the market, basically. So as we end up changing market structure, we set another higher high right now. At that point, I'd have a confirmed higher low, and I would be bumping up that half stop loss, and I'll be bumping up my full stop loss throughout the night as well. Just making sure that I can maximize some profits on this little run here. So with that, I'll hopefully try to do a live stream tomorrow, hopefully a little bit earlier. But yeah, with that, guys, I think that's about all I wanted to go over. I'm showing not only just market structure and, with that trade setup I took, but also giving me the confidence in that trade, looking at these indicators as a second opinion kind of a thing. I absolutely love using them for that second set of eyes. I'm a big fan of structure first, and I love Fibonacci's for entries and that sort of thing. But I love looking at the way this indicator is trending, where the buy volume and sell volume are coming in. Just absolutely love this indicator. I've been using the MDX ALGO indicators for over 2 years now at this point. The only other indicator I really use is the RSI, to be honest. But yeah, absolutely love them. So if these MDX algo indicators do interest you, there is a link down below that gives an additional 10% discount on top of current promotions at the MDX algo checkout. Again, easily my favorite indicators on TradingView. But yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to go over. I think you kind of understand my game plan moving forward into the evening here. Buckle up for some crazy volatility. I think the market's at a very much so a make or break point. You know, if this support can hold and we end up pumping through this double top, I think we could be in a nice place. So yeah, exciting times ahead. With that, my friends, stay safe out there. Good luck in the markets. Peace.